Hello students, today we'll learn the structure and functioning of human heart. Before starting this, we should know what are life processes. The processes that together performs the maintenance function of our body are known as life processes. For example, nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion. This human heart is related with the transportation life process. Now, what is transportation? Transportation means to transport the different substances or the materials in our body which are required by our cells. So here comes the blood. Blood carries all these essential substances from human heart to different part of our body. Blood carries, for example, the gases, that is the carbon dioxide and oxygen, the nutrients, the food, the hormones. Okay. So all these things are transported with the help of blood. Now there should be some mechanism in our body so that this blood can flow throughout our body. So human heart do this work. Human heart pumps the blood so that it can flow throughout our body. So in short, we can say that for transportation of blood, human heart pumps the blood. Okay. Now, what is the location of human heart in our body? Human heart is located between the lungs, slightly towards the left side. Now, what is the major role? The major role of human heart is to pump the blood and, or you can say, to circulate the blood. Now, what is circulation? This is also known as the double circulation of blood. Why it is known as double circulation of blood? Because in a single cycle, blood passes through our heart twice. That's why it is known as double circulation. Our human heart is having 4 chambers. The upper 2 chambers are known as atria and the lower 2 chambers are known as ventricles. Now the question arises, why there are 4 chambers in human heart? These 4 chambers ensures that there should be no mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated and deoxygenated blood should be separated. So this is the major role of 4-chambered human heart to separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Now the question arises, why oxygenated and deoxygenated blood should be separated? Because we require a lot of energy for our life processes and to maintain our body temperature. So oxygenated and deoxygenated blood should be separated so that there should be maximum supply of oxygen for respiration, so that our body cells can produce maximum energy, because it is required for our life processes as well as to maintain our body temperature. This is the reason why humans have 4-chambered heart. Now we have to learn the structure and the double circulation of blood in human heart. Now you can see in this diagram, these 2 are the upper 2 chambers known as atria. This one is right atrium, this one is left atrium. These two are the lower two chambers known as ventricles. This is right ventricle, this is left ventricle. So there are these four chambers. Now you can see the walls of upper two chambers are very thin and the walls of lower two chambers are very thick, you can see, because the upper two chambers have to receive the blood and the lower two chambers, that is the ventricles, have to pump the blood. So to pump the blood, the walls should be thick. And you can see that between right atrium and right ventricle there is this valve. This is known as tricuspid valve. And between left atrium and left ventricle there is another valve known as bicuspid valve. These valves ensures that there should be no backward flow of blood. Once the blood comes in the ventricle, it should not come out again in the atrium. So this is the functioning of valves to prevent the backward flow of blood. Now you can see the right and the left portion of the heart is separated by this wall. This separating wall is known as septum, or you can say septa. Okay, now you can see in this whole diagram one portion is marked blue in color and another portion is marked this yellowish orangish in color. This blue portion represents the flow of deoxygenated blood. It means the blood which carries carbon dioxide. And this yellow portion represents the circulation or the flow of oxygenated blood. Now, there are three types of blood vessels: arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries carries blood from heart to different parts of the body. Veins carry blood from different parts of the body into the heart. And capillaries provides junction between arteries and veins. So you can see here, from here and from here, the blood or the deoxygenated blood enters in our heart. So these are the veins. In fact, this is the biggest vein of our body, known as vena cava. So there are two vena cavas, this one and this one. Because this is on the upper side of the heart, this is known as upper vena cava or the superior vena cava. There is this another vena cava which is on the lower part. This is known as inferior vena cava. So from these two veins or the vena cava, the deoxygenated blood enters into right atrium. So when the blood enters into right atrium, it relaxes. Then this tricuspid valve gets opened and the blood enters into right ventricle. Because this blood is deoxygenated, this blood should be oxygenated before pumping. So this deoxygenated blood flows from this right ventricle to here and moves outside the human heart and enters into lungs. So why this blood is going into lungs? So that it can become oxygenated. There is this term pulmonary, meaning in relation with lungs, because this artery is carrying blood to lungs for oxygenation. That's why it is known as pulmonary artery. Now once the process of oxygenation is done, this oxygenated blood again enters into human heart here in left atrium. Now this blood is oxygenated, and because it is coming from lungs through a vein, that's why this vein is known as pulmonary vein. So from or with the help of pulmonary vein, oxygenated blood enters into left atrium. Now this left atrium relaxes. Once it gets filled, this bicuspid valve get opens and the blood enters into oxygenated blood, and oxygenated blood moves out the heart with the help of an artery known as aorta. This is the biggest artery of our body. Now this blood is oxygenated, so it will get supplied to each and every cell of our body. So this is the structure, and this circulation is known as double circulation. Thank you.